see so many members of the Indian diaspora, it is indicative of the fact that the Indian American community here in the United States is growing larger, growing more politically active. Well, a couple of the folks from the diaspora that I think are going to be pretty important. I mean, the one that I think sticks out the most is Sumona Guha. Sumona, she'd been at State Department and policy planning, working on India affairs during the Obama administration, spent some time in the private sector, and now will be taking over as senior director for the National Security Council covering the region. And it's an expanded portfolio, presuming that they follow what the last couple of senior directors did. It'll be covering India, but also a much wider set, including Afghanistan and Pakistan. And that's where a lot of the time has to be spent because, of course, what the United States' future is going to be in Afghanistan, troops on the ground there, these kind of questions, they play pretty heavily to what the United States is doing. When you think there's actually a lot of roles that still have yet to be filled as well across the administration. So we don't yet know, for instance, at the State Department, for the senior roles, the assistant secretary, which went unfilled for the entire 4 years of the Trump administration, the deputy assistant secretaries, the principal deputy assistant secretary. We had a lot of fluctuation in roles like that. But even apart from members of the diaspora, one of my own colleagues at CSIS, Dr. Kathleen Hicks, was announced to be the Deputy Secretary of Defense. And she and I collaborated on a project a couple of years ago, which you can find online, looking at the future for U.S.-India defense relations. So it's great to see, of course, Indian Americans in roles, but also a lot of folks that don't have Indian heritage and ancestry actually have bothered to spend, additional time on India when they can. So a good group coming together, I think that's going to be good for the relationship.